How's it going, trainers? So with the global Go Tour Hoenn going down this weekend, we're going to be discussing Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon once again. More specifically, how to defeat them since they're going to be pretty tough raid bosses. So today we'll be going through some of the best counters to take them down. So without further ado, let's jump into this raid guide. Welcome back, everyone. So as you may already know, Primal Groudon and Kyogre aren't your typical legendary raid bosses. For the Go Tour Hoenn global event, they've been placed into their own sort of special raid category. That means they'll be a little bit tougher than your average legendary, and if you have a few players to raid with, you'll definitely want to come prepared with some of the proper counters. So to preface this guide, I want to make a note on how these raid bosses work. As of right now, they're set to perform just like Mega Pokémon, so you'll have to raid them to obtain Primal Energy, which can be used to Primal Revert them. Also, like Megas, they'll be active for 8 hours at a time, plus they'll give similar bonuses with a little extra kick. But let's not waste any more time and start with the best counters to Primal Groudon. Now this is definitely going to be the easier of the two Primals, and that's due to its double weakness to water. Since it gains a fire type in its primal form, water is going to be the best option to defeat this Titan. So when it comes to using Megas against Primal Groudon, you have the option of Mega Gyarados, Blastoise, and Swampert. Though of these three, I'd say that Mega Swampert is the best of them. Not only does it have the best damage per second output, but because it also has the ground subtyping, it'll also boost the chance of getting Groudon Excel Candy if you have a level 2 or 3 Mega Swampert. Now while this Mega is really good, if you use it, you're going to have to be prepared to dodge. And that's because if the Groudon you're facing has Solar Beam, it's going to be a one-hit KO if it hits. But next up, if you're looking for some Shadow Pokemon counters, you can use either Shadow Feraligatr, Swampert, or Shadow Gyarados. All three of these water types have some of the best speed of damage next to the Megas, and that's going to make it much easier to take down Primal Groudon. Though outside of Shadows and Megas, there's still several other affordable options that'll also do great. At the top of the list, we obviously have Kyogre, who's one of the best water types out there. And if you got yourself a team of 6 Kyogre, you're already in pretty good shape. But aside from this legendary, most water starters with Hydro Cannon will also work as water attackers. The best two we currently have are Swampert and Samurott, though Feraligatr and Empoleon will also perform reasonably well. Now if you're new to the game and don't have many of these counters, I just try to focus in on doing water damage. Pokemon like Vaporeon and Wailord will make for some decent budget options. So next up, we're going to be shifting things over to Primal Kyogre, who's going to be a little more difficult to take down. You see, unlike Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre doesn't have any double weaknesses. The pure water type will only be weak to grass and electric, so those are the two types you're going to want to roll with to defeat this legendary. When it comes to Mega Evolutions, you have Mega Manectric and Abrazos for electric types, as well as Venusaur and Sceptile for grass types. Personally, I'd say that Sceptile is going to be your best bet since it double resists Kyogre's water moves, though it's going to be double weak if Kyogre has Blizzard, so if that's the case, maybe switch to Venusaur or be prepared to dodge. Now outside of Mega Pokemon, the top two Kyogre counters are Ultra Beasts being Kartana and Xurkitree. Both have extremely high attack stats, so they're going to be amazing attackers if you have access to them. However, if you don't have either of them, you can use Shadow Pokemon like Electivire, Raikou, Zapdos, Magnezone, and Venusaur. Of course, there's several legendaries you can use against Kyogre, including Zekrom, Zarude, Thundurus in its Therian form, and of course...
Tapu Boo Boo!
Oh, excuse me. But yeah, you're able to use any of these legendary Pokemon as well. Now, if you're looking for something more budget-friendly or a beginner's option, Pokemon like Leafeon, Jolteon, and Exeggutor will be right up your alley. Even though these aren't even close to being the best Kyogre counters, they'll still contribute well if you're in a larger raid group. Now, if you're wondering whether you should build either a grass or electric type team, it really all depends on your in-game weather. If it's clear or sunny weather in-game, go grass. But if it's raining out, use electric types so you get boosted damage. Now despite this, I'll note that Xurkitree can actually be used in sunny weather, and that's because you can run it with Power Whip and it'll still be effective. Now when it comes to neutral weather that doesn't boost either type, I think it mainly comes down to what type of Pokemon you have. As you can see here, you've got the top level counters, really good counters, decent counters, and some of the more budget options. So see what you have in your collection and use what's best from here. So that's just about everything you need to know when countering these primals. But before we end for the day, I did want to mention that it can be a big help if you're raiding with in-game friends. You'll get boosted damage when raiding with Great, Ultra, and Best Friends, so teaming up with friends will give you an even better chance at defeating these difficult bosses. But that just about wraps up this Primal Raid guide. Hopefully this guide helps when planning your teams for the Primal Raids tomorrow. Ordinarily, we don't do these types of guides here on the channel, but because these are really impactful raids, we figured it would be fun to try one out. So if you like this kind of guide and want to see more of them in the future, then consider giving this video a thumbs up and let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our guides for the Go Battle League, move updates, and Pokemon debuts. Also, we really appreciate it. Until next time though, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Take care.